Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS news for Monday, December 10. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has ordered a forensic audit of Petrojam and new oversight regulations in the interim to ensure accountability. Mr. Holness announced the directives at a press conference on Monday, called to address the findings and recommendations contained in a report from the Auditor General. It highlighted, among other things, breaches in procurement guidelines, inconsistent recruitment and employment practices, and unaccounted-for barrels of oil worth billions. In announcing the forensic audit to shed more light on the oil losses, Prime Minister Holness also ordered new regulations for board meetings to ensure transparency in Petrojam's oil pricing mechanisms.
Two things. One is to ensure that the minutes of the meeting are taken and sent to independent oversight bodies, and to include other persons. I'm thinking, for example, the Consumer Affairs Commission, a representative from the Ministry of Finance. But I will give further details as to how that can be done. And that will help to bring some level of clarity.
The Prime Minister also informed that he would be meeting with the Auditor General to discuss further aspects of the report. 91 firearms and over 1,800 rounds of ammunition have been recovered since the January start of the state of emergency declared in St. James. That's according to Senior Superintendent of Police Anthony Morris, who says that of the 4,264 persons detained under the state of emergency, only 24 remain in detention. Of that number, 6 were in a holding area and 18 in cells. Senior Superintendent Morris says that of the 18 in cells, 3 have been charged with serious crimes, while 15 have been remanded with approved detention orders. The Senior Superintendent tells JIS News that of the over 4,000 persons detained, 147 have been charged with various crimes and 64 having outstanding warrants.
We have no children detained under the state of emergency. We in fact have 2 children charged, one for murder, one for robbery with aggravation, and they are at our juvenile facility. The parish of St. James has really been breathing a sigh of relief. We have saved some 230 murders since the start of the year when you compare to last year. And in any language, that is a major gain for the citizens.
Superintendent Morris gave those details during Prime Minister Andrew Holness's 3-leg tour of detention facilities under the states of emergency and zones of special operations on the weekend.
So far, we have seen facilities that are, I would say, generally up to standard, but clearly we could and should do more to improve the standard. So the objective of my visit is to see what else we could do to improve conditions. I must commend the police and the military so far for the way in which they have used the extraordinary and special powers that they have been given under the state of emergency and the zones of special operations.
Jamaica's first regulated casino is to be established by the start of 2020. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett made the disclosure on the weekend, but stressed that the country would not be positioned as a casino destination. He was at a recent seminar on hospitality and casino issues held in St. James. Casino gaming is expected to contribute 2% to the country's gross domestic product, as well as provide an addition to the tourism product. Minister Bartlett said 3 casino gaming licenses would be granted, representing no more than 20% of the value of the tourism experience. Construction of a minimum of 1,000 rooms and $1 billion in investment have been outlined as the requirement for a casino license. Approximately $100 million will be spent to develop the Ian Fleming International Airport in St. Mary. Upgraded works include widening the runway, installing turning bulbs along the strip, and an expansion of its terminal building. Renovations have started at the island's 4 domestic aerodromes at Tinson Pen, Ken Jones, Lionel Densham, and Negril to establish pilot lounges, upgrade bathroom facilities, general repainting, and landscaping. These disclosures were made by the Minister of Transport and Mining, Robert Montego, who was speaking at last Thursday's opening ceremony for the 2nd annual Aviation Seminar.
This government recognizes the importance of civil aviation, and we are determined to bring back general aviation into Jamaica as it was in the glory days. We have moved to make some corrective measures, and the Airports Authority of Jamaica have informed me that they have a program to upgrade our aerodromes across the island.
These renovations are being done by the Airports Authority of Jamaica and should be completed by mid-2019. 20 additional automated border crossing kiosks were installed recently at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James. The kiosks are expected to further reduce the processing time for airline passengers. The airport now has 66 processing outlets, 30 of which are automated border crossing kiosks and 36 immigration officers. The National Security Ministry's Chief Technical Director, Rowan Richards, says during peak time, between 1,800 and 2,500 passengers are processed per hour at the airport.
The figures show that wait time within the immigration hall has dropped from a minimum of 3 to 4 hours to under 80 minutes during peak times. I am equally pleased to note that the introduction of these additional 20 kiosks will result in a 15 to 20% reduction in wait times in immigration hall during peak hours.
The kiosks will automate the processing of incoming passengers at the Montego Bay Airport, where an average of 2 million arrivals occur on an annual basis. And finally, the Youth Advisory Committee of the Jamaica National Commission for UNESCO has received a grant for $15,000 under the organization's participation program. Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport Olivia Grange made the announcement during a ceremony at which the Universal Service Fund handed over laptops and tablets to the committee. This grant is in addition to UNESCO's recent award of $50,000 to the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation for helping adolescent mothers continue their education. UNESCO's participation program analyzes, evaluates, and facilitates the implementation of national, sub-regional, interregional, and regional projects. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.